Morning, welcome to Manic Fishing. Well, I'm just going to have a little short trip out today. I'm determined not to go wreck fishing as I always do it. I'm going to try for some spurdogs today, and I'm hoping I haven't missed them. But what I'll do is I'm waiting for the water to start moving, so there's a little wreck here. I'm going to go down with this joker jig I got given from Matthew Foster. So I'm just gonna, it's sort of slack water, so it'll work perfect. So I'll just spin myself around, have a little couple of drifts on this until I can start moving, and then I'll chuck the pick in and touch wood, we'll get some spurdogs. I'm going to dump myself in the middle of this wreck and just have a look. It's worth a try while I'm waiting. Right, joker jig, Tenru bulldog, let's have a go. Let's hope I don't lose it first drop. Right, we're down. So this is just, if I catch one out of here, it'd be just a bonus really. There's no point chucking my anchor down and then we're going to start moving around. I want to wait until the water's moving first. It's not a massive tide, should be perfect if the spurdog are there. You know, I might have missed them, but it's worth a try. It'd probably end up a dogfish fest, but it is what it is. There might be some bullass there or whatever. Just have a couple of hours. And as I say, the weather is turning rubbish again. It's not too bad. There's a little swell here, but you've got to just grab these days while you can, you know. Otherwise you'll be totally on the, you know, you'll stay on the dock for the, if you just keep waiting for these flat calm days, you're never gonna, you're never gonna, I don't think that's I don't know. I don't think that's a fish, I think that's a wreck. Yeah, that's a wreck. That's one down. Oh dear, sorry Matthew. Oh dear, oh well. I like that one as well. All right, let's tie back on. All right, so let's have another go. So let's see if I can lose this one. This is a sparkly blue thing. So a longer one, like a pencil jig, but it'll go down better, you know. This is 100 grams. And this will do this sort of flip-flop movement. The bass ban has just come in here, so you're not allowed to keep any bass. I mean, I don't keep fish anyway, but 100 grams is exactly what this rod is rated for. But I mean, you get away with a 150, but this is really what it's designed to work. I'm going to be using my new rod I got from Andrew Selby from Weymouth Angling Centre today, doing my uptiding, and I got my Shimano 5000 to try on that. So you know, who knows, the spurdogs might be there. I've got some frozen Joey mackerel. It'd be nice to get another one. I say I had those two cracking ones earlier on in the year, or last year rather. Hopefully this year will be good. I'll have some good content for you this year. I've got quite a few things planned. You know, getting out on other charter boats as well as my own, and I've got a couple of returning guests coming. Just keeping contact with that bottom, but sort of tempting it, but I don't want to I don't want to wrap in that wreck, you know. So you've got to just keep keeping your eye on your sounder and adjusting your height of your lure. It's not showing a lot of fish at all. Nothing. I'll say a few weeks time, a lot of those pollock, well, they're not big pollock, are they, as you saw from the last video, but a lot of those pollock start to move inshore, you know, come in, you know, they won't be sort of 20, 25 plus miles out. They'll be, you know, inside the shipping lanes, you know, probably 10 mile out on these sort of wrecks. They'll start to hit. Well, there's absolutely nothing on here. That's not a fish. Oh dear. That's not a fish. Oh dear. Right, well, that seals it. So I'm going to go, oh well, 2 jokers down. So yeah, look, I'm going to go and stick to the plan. We are starting to move the way we want to move. So I'll get myself over to this this money spot, and hopefully we'll hit a few spur dogs. Fingers crossed. Right, so I've just got myself out to this this little spur dog spot where I've caught them before. As I say, I caught a couple of nice ones the couple of weeks before Christmas. So I'm going to try this rod out if I can get it out. I'll put it in a chew to protect it now. Can't get the lid off. Right, so this is a rod that these match guys use. So it's like a free section, and I'm going to put my Shimano on it. Look, so new, still got the label on it. Right, so let's have a go. So I've got the little tip section in here, and there's 2 tip sections on here. So I'm going to use the shorter one, which I think will be the stiffer one. Right, so I've got a rig here. So these are the Joey mackerel I'm using. They're defrosted now. And I've got this boom rig made up. So all it is about a 3.5 foot trace with a wire boom on, and I've got some 60-pound line with this kinked, I don't know if you can see that, a slightly offset 6/0 hook with a muppet, and that's about a 3 foot trace on that as well. So let's clip this on. So my leg goes on here. So I've got this lead John gave me. It's only I think it's a 5 ounce, which he reckons will hold in any weather. But what I'll do is, I think I'm going to cast this out first, and just to get my head around it a little bit first. And what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to, when I've got my bait on there, I'm going to put my hook over this lead here, over this wire, he says, like that, so it'll just hold it. So right, so let's have a practice flick, see what it's about. Yeah, it goes out lovely. So this line ain't been off for a while, so let's strip a bit of line off. So I can see where we're moving now. As I said, really and truthfully, it's not like I'm anchoring a wreck, so there's no real, you know, doesn't matter if you're 50 foot, doesn't matter if you're 100 foot over, they'll run through. So yeah, I'm happy with that, and that released. So let's get my other 2 rods set up, then I'll get my anchor ready, and then we'll go down and hopefully hit some fish. Right, let's get these other 2 up and running. So I'm going to be using my 2 Kenzakis. I haven't bothered changing the boom. I've just got the normal, you know, the normal wrecking boom as such on there. The only thing different is I've got about a 4 foot trace, 100-pound mono, and that kinked 6/0 hook. So I'm going to try, I think I'll probably be all right with an 8 ounce, but I think I've got some, like some pyramid leads in here, which are 12s, which I think could be better. Yeah, I've got these. So these are like a pyramid, and that's a 12 to 20 rod, so it'll have no problems in lifting that. So let's get this one ready. So that's one. Let's put that there and get the other rod down. So I'm going to fish 3 rods. 2 sort of out the back and me up-tied one. There you go, that's all ready. Right, let's put that one that side. Right, so let's go and get the anchor down. So we've just set the anchor. You can see the buoy out the back there, so once that settles it'll swing us round and we'll be somewhere near where we want to be, I'm hoping. Let's just lift that engine up so it doesn't catch the rope. Well, that was hard work. I got the anchor caught around the prop and had to tie myself on and lean over and get it. I couldn't get it with the hook, but we're all right now. Oh dear. Always one thing. No big deal. Right. So let's get these down tied ones down first. So I'll get my I think I'll leave them in them rod holders. So what I'm going to do, it's all going wrong. Right, so let's lower this camera down so you can see this a little bit. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fillet off and I'm going to try and keep that sinew part of the tail on, so that little part. So I'm going to go through that sinewy bit and I'm going to knock that right over that knot, so it's through there like that, and that sinew will hold that on there, and then literally just go through it like that. I don't think I'm going to need to whip it. As I said, it may well be a bit of a dog fest today, but who knows. It's worth trying. Right, so let's get this down. So I'm going to put this one close to the boat. This one I'll cast out a little bit, and then obviously the up-tied one will be up-tied. Blimey, it was all going off to a bad start then. Right, so I'm down. So I'm going to give it just a little bit so it can pull a bit of line if need be. Let's put it on ratchet. And I'll put this in my new rod holder. Right, so let's get this other one down. So through this part, just before that sinew bit, and that sinew will actually, it's so tough, once I put it over that knot, that'll lock down on there. So then just going through the flesh like that. So that's the bait there. Pull the muppet down, and we'll put this one over this side, and I'll just flick it out a little bit. I'll say we could pick up, we could quite easily pick up bullace today, but I think the suspicion will be we'll be picking up dogfish, but there you go, is what it is. So it can pull line if it needs to. Let's put that one in there. Right, let's get the up-tied one done. So let's cut this fillet down first. So literally down, run it along the backbone, right the way to the end of that sinewy bit. Yeah, so I've got these Cox and Raw hooks. These are great. These are, haven't used these before. As I said, they're slightly offset. I think they'll nail the fish. So I'm going to pull this one up over this sinewy bit like that. So it's pulled that about a little bit, so I might just whack a little bit of elastic around that, just on that top tip. That'll just hold that on the eye of that hook. That's it. So the hook's showing nice and proud. Now, let's hope I cast out without buggering everything up. So I'm going to hook that over that leg like that. Now, let's have a go. See if I don't catch all my other lines. Yeah, that's lovely. So I'm letting the tip down, letting loads of line out. So we're in sort of 87 foot of water. So I'm letting the tide take that line instead of the wind. Let loads and loads of line out. You want that big bow. So hopefully that lead should still be up there. So don't be afraid to let line out. Right, I think that's it. So I've got a nice big bow. I'm going to put that in here. And I shall let that so it can take if it needs to. Right, so all 3 lines are out. Let's, as I said, if we catch a spur dog, great. I suspect it may be a little bit of a dogfish fest, but at the end of the day, it's great. So it's up to 11. I've got a couple of hours fishing. Hopefully I'll get you guys a spur dog. We'll wait and see. It looked like I was just getting a little bite on that rod. As soon as you put the camera on, it stops. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fish that uptide rod to the clock. So sort of every 15 minutes I'm going to reel it in. So it's about that now. So I'll get my bait ready and let's have a reel in and see how it's doing. Yeah, and that lead held lovely. Still holding. Yeah, it's just come out now. So on my leader. Well, as expected, we did know we were going to hit a few. The lovely dogfish has come to bless me, and he swallowed that right down. So I have actually got, John gave me, I've got this this T-bar, so I'm hoping this will get this out. Let's move the muppet out the way. Actually, I can get that out myself. So yeah, I mean, it was expected. It would be nice to hit a spur dog, as I say. I'm not super hopeful. I'll let that play out. Let's get this one baited up. The only trouble having baiting elastic on it does make a bit of a mess. So through that sinew again. Let's lock that over the eye and the knot. So there you go. Well, at least the rod's christened. Letting a nice bow out. That should do. Put that in there and I'll just let that off a little bit so it can pull. So let's see what's going on here. So I don't think there's a lot on there. Let's have a little look. So I put new rod holders on here, these white ones, because my metal ones had literally ripped all the butts off of my rods, even my lure rod. I cut them off when I first bought this boat, and so that the rods would sit down, right down in them, and it wasn't really necessary. So we've got something on here, but I don't know what. I'm hoping it's, I'm just about to say, I'm hoping it's not a conger. It's a, blimey, would you believe that? It's a double dog. So we got two. Can you see that? Two dogfish on the same. It's not a pennel, it's a greedy buggers. Look, two of them, double dogs. So let's take this hook out of this one first. Right, that's one. And this one, I don't know how it's got, he must have lassoed himself. Because he's not even caught, this one. He's got caught round the line. So they've made a right crap job of this. So see if I can stretch this to stop it. You know what, I'm gonna cut that little bit off there and retie that hook, because it's all twisted there. So it's only short than that hook length, about 6 inches. Well, I knew it was going to be a dog fest. I didn't think I'd be pulling them two at a time, but so let's try something a little bit different. I'm gonna stick the head on this one like this, just a small piece. So I just go under the chin and out through his head like that. I mean, if it is just dogfish down there, it don't really matter, does it? But so let's try and cast this one a little bit, get me away from the boat a bit. And what I'll do is I'll check that one as well. So what's the time now? So it's 12, about 15:15. I'll do the up-tide rod, fish it to the clock. The only reason I'm giving it a little bit of clutch is that I don't mind the spurdogs running, but because those rod holders are sticking up, I don't want, I doubt there'd be taupe out there, but if there was, I don't want it snapping my rod off. So let's give this one a look, see what's going on here. Well, there's nothing on here at all, but it's worth changing the bait, you know. I'll tell you what, I'm super impressed with that rod. The tip on it is so fine. It's awesome. And using the fixed spool, you know, you're not going to get an overrun like I was getting. Yeah, look, the bait's just been stripped on that one. So, completely stripped. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the tail off and I'm going to put this on. Let's go big or go home, eh? So I'm going in it like that and coming up out, so it's like that, and I'll set that hook back in there like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to whack a little bit of elastic round just this tip bit, just to hold that shank in place. So there's the bait there. So this one I'm going to drop. I've got one out quite far. I'm just going to leave this one reasonably close to the boat, just flick it out a touch and let this one, so I've got sort of free distances there. Now, I don't know if I'm getting an inquiry on that up-tider. It's a funny bit of ground, this. Sometimes you won't hold here. It's It's a strange bit of ground. Sometimes you'll slip, but we're definitely not slipping. Oh, it'd be lovely to get a spur dog today. I think in the reality of it, I think the reality is it's going to be dogs. It's going to be dogfish, but it's going to be those ones you don't want. But there you go. If I get a spur dog, it'd be a miracle, I think. As I say, it's just nice to get out. You've got to grab these moments while you can, because I know that the weather, you know, in the week, up the weekend and maybe next week is still rubbish as well. So just a case of, you know, grabbing it while you can. Come on, the spurs. So fishing to the clock with this one, this uptider. Every 15 minutes going to reel it in. I'll tell you what, I'm loving this rod. It's awesome. I thought, you know, it's going to be a bit long really, but the action on it, I don't know what it'd be like with a 20-30 pound tope on, but I know John's had them on them. We'll wait and see when the spring comes, but we'll see. So yeah, it's definitely worth you checking that bait each time, because as you can see, look, oh, there's nothing on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see where that lead's bending out. It's definitely working, it's holding. Just reset it, you know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this head on here. Let's just take this bit off. So I hate the old baiting elastic, it causes problems. So right up through his head, so you don't need any baiting elastic with that because it holds itself. So just hook that, get that hook through there properly. Let's just hook that through that wire, and then hopefully that will release. It's released already in the air. So letting the tide take the take the slack. So just getting that massive great bow in the line. Don't be afraid to let the line out, you know. That's what I've been told with it. You almost want to go twice as much as what you've cast out. So I think that'll do. So just changing the bait on this one. Just going to bait elastic this mackerel round. So if you get that bait and elastic around that eye of that hook, it holds it in place. Plenty round there. So that's the bait there. Hook's nice and proud. So we'll flick this one out. And those 12-ounce leads seem to be holding perfectly fine. So it just gets it away from the boat a bit, you know. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to check me up tide. One. Let's check this one now. Been about 15 minutes. I'm going to give it every 15 minutes, as I say, and I'll Skip thinks we got something. I don't think we have. It takes a little while to get that slack up, and then I can feel that I'm on that lead now, so it's definitely doing what it's supposed to do. I'm going to really look forward to using this rod when them bream are still showing now, but when they really start to show up in the summer, so that lead's still hooked in, just trying to get it up. They hold really well. Oh, that's it, it's lifted up now. There we go, we're on the leader. Yeah, so that didn't release that great that time. That's caught up a little bit on that boom. So you can see where that's pulled out. So just need to just reset that up. But these are perfect, these leads. There's not really a lot wrong with that bait, but it has been chewed about a bit, so I'm gonna change it. I've got a few bits of bait. As I say, I'm not fishing for super long. I'm gonna try a fillet on this one this time. Nice long fillet. So try and get in that sinewy bit, make that a bit bigger, that hole, so it'll pull through. So it's pulled through and it'll hold on that knot. And then I'm just going to literally go up like that. And there's the bait there. So I don't need to whip that. Well, what I'll do is I don't want that catching up, so I'm not going to bother tying that up, but hooking that over. I'm just going to flick it out. That's it. Yeah, I'm really liking this rod. So I think when the breams start to show, this is going to be the game changer, because the bite detection on it is awesome. You know, and just general, you know, we've got to change our style of fishing slightly, you know, and I'm going to go for different fish. Hopefully they won't put a ban in. I know there is discussions about it, about pollock. I mean, that is mostly what I fish for, you know, but I'm all catch and release anyway, so I'm no problem. But you know, sometimes they do blow. I do try and put them back. You know, 9 times out of 10 they do go back, but it's yeah, I mean, if that ban comes into play, you know, the trouble is that sort of 90% of the fish on the wrecks are pollock, you know. Right, let's get this. This is John ringing me. So we're getting a little bit of springing about on that up tide rod. I've only just not long put it out, so I might just leave it for a little bit longer, but the down tide rods are not doing anything. So at the minute, it's so sensitive, that tip. I'm really made up with it. So I'm just going to reel this one in. We're about on the clock time, but it was bouncing about a little bit, this one, so I'm not sure. So you've got quite a bit of line to wind in before you get onto that lead. So this is sort of all the slack line in the tide. So that lead's held there. Let's try and get this lead up. That's it, lead's released. So I mean, the line is there, the lead is there, sort of 90 degrees with me, and I mean, really in 90 foot of water it is harder to up tide, you know. It's really sort of 60 foot's perfect, but it's doing what it says on the tin. I don't know, I have got something on here, but I expect it is the elusive dogfish. Yeah. There you go. So he was just hanging on that one. Little bugger. Well, what I'll do, I'm going to check these down tide rods, because there's not a lot going on with them, not even dogfish, so best just to check and make sure the bait's still on. It's no point being out there with nothing on. Yeah, see, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, so I'm going to chuck that back down. So I'm just dropping this one not far from the boat at all, just letting that one go down. So I'll stop it a little way down just to let that trace go out so it's not tangled. Doesn't seem to be getting any problems with this tangling today. So that's on the bottom. Just give it a little bit of line. Chuck that one in there. Now let's check this one. Feels a bit heavier. There's something on here, but no doubt it is the lovely dogfish. Feels a bit heavier, probably a heavier dogfish. Oh, what is it? Oh. What do you think? What do you reckon it is? What could it be? LSD. Oh well. You've just got to watch their oh, this has swallowed it right down, so I need to get the pliers down inside this one. So I'll get this out and I'll rebait. Now it's typical. You're just going to eat something and then you get a bite. But I'm not going to turn it down. I'll say I was determined not to go wreck fishing today. We had that little spin just waiting for the tide to turn, but you know, I'm going to try and do some different fishing. As I said, I was really hoping I'll get a spur dog, but I don't think it's going to be the case. They just seem to be around, sort of around that start to mid-December. So I'm getting a little tap on this back rod here, and I just don't want it to do the same as it did before with a, you know, let the dogfish swallow it down. So I'll just feel this one, feel if there is anything. It might just be a dogfish just playing about with it. As I say, that's elasticated on that bait, so I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. I'm going to check the uptide one. I'll just wind this one in and see. There's nothing worse than leaving it down there. A little bit of weight there, but I think it's just where it's pulling the, oh, I don't know. I don't think it's the monster of the deep, but there's something on there. Skip nose. Oh, blimey. So, I think it's as it goes, it's not a bad whiting actually. That is not too bad for a whiting. Yeah, look at the size of that then. That's a cracking whiting. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Great. So I just had that whiting, and that took that mackerel, so I'm going to put that back down with that. I mean, that weren't a bad size for a whiting, and that was on the one that was quite close into the boat, so we'll just let it go down here, just flick it a little bit. Come out, Skip. What was in the way? We're getting that slack line until we hit that lead. But it's absolutely doing what it said on the tin. It's lovely, I love it. So you can see that even though I'm only casting a little way up there, that lead is holding here, sort of 90 degrees on, which is what I want. So it should be, yeah, we're on the lead now. I'll just try and spring it out. There you go. She's out. Yeah, and we got another dog. The dog rod. Oh yeah, cool, here's a fat one. Yeah, he's got a fat old belly on him. Look at that. I don't think I'm going to get a spur dog today, but it's worth a try. As I said, my experience over the last 4 years of fishing for them is December, round about the 1st of December. And obviously, I mean, I was away in January in Thailand, so I couldn't fish, but normally that month of December they seem to run, and they seem to run here. That's what my experience is of it. But as I say, I got them last year just in December. I didn't get them the year before. I think I had them the year before that, but the trouble is it's just sometimes that time of year is when the pollock start to get meaty, and I go out and fish for them. So I try and break the trip up, but I'm definitely not going wreck fishing today. I'm definitely going to stick to the plan. And as I said, it's just lovely to be out with the old dogs. Where's my bestie? There she is. Just nice to be out with the dogs, you know, fishing, and beautiful day. There's another boat over there. I don't know quite what he's doing. My friend Peter Thorpe and Graham Finesse, they're out fishing down by the pier, but I think they're only getting pin white in. But I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you get. It's just nice to get out, isn't it? You know, look at this day. I mean, it's almost like a summer's day. Hopefully we're over that cold snap. I mean, I must admit, I love it. It don't bother me. I like the cold. So all lines are out. Let's just wait and see. Perhaps I'll eat another boiled egg and then I'll get a bite. So I think I'm going to check this line here. It was banging about a little bit. See what's happening, and then I'll change my up tide. What I do when I let that down, halfway down, I'll stop that so that the boom then will slide down, and then the trace will go out, so it's not caught up. Sometimes they do catch up. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's not a massive tide today, but the lines are they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. It's lovely. You know, sometimes it's raging through there, and you can't. That's it, the lead's off. Oh God, leave me alone. I got this Apple Watch my son bought me. It keeps going off on its own. Now, it feels a little bit of weight here, but what it is, I'm not sure. Big dogfish. Skip knows. What is it, Skip? Yeah, the dog rod. So still nicely hooked. So that hook just comes straight out of there. That's handy. Now keep that so that fish don't wrap me up. Perfect. Let's just put that hook there. Hey, another fat one. As I said, I knew it wouldn't be a rip-roaring video today, and I was doubtful about these spur dogs. I think this is what's on the menu today's video, is dogfish. Look, and that hook comes out lovely. So yeah, that's what's on the menu today. So we're just coming up to the leader now. What do you reckon? Bonus marks if you guess what it is. What do you think it might be? Oh well. All right, let's try and get this anchor out safe. So now all I've got to do is just pull it in. Thanks for watching Manic Fishing. At the end of the video you'll see a prompt for another video. Watch that one, that'd be good. Then you'll see my Manic Fishing logo. Hit that logo, that's my subscribe button. Thank you everybody who has subscribed, but please, if you haven't, just hit that subscribe, it costs you nothing. And there's a bell there as well. Hit that bell, that's a notifications if you want to see you know, what I'm putting on community posts, or when my videos come out or whatever. Hopefully every week there should be one. Thank you so much for watching and spending the day with me. Have a wonderful day.